would you like to read from the first book first? Maybe you can tell us something about it, the camping trip.
Sure. So the camping trip, you know, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things happen with, going on a weekend camping trip. And this book is set in the 1970s. So it starts off with a group of young guys. It's a father in the middle of a storm, and he is, you know, he's got his 13 and 14-year-old son there with him. And at that point, the storm's raging on, the power goes out, and the kids are just like, what do we do? We have no electronics, no things like that. So in that scene, he's the father is just like, okay, well, it's time I share a secret with you. And he goes and tells him about what it was like growing up in the 70s. And that's where the book's based out of. But let me start off with reading a little bit from the very first chapter. The world outside sounded menacing as loud, thunderous cracks rained down on the home. Bright lights filled the night sky, and the gaps in the curtains allowed lightning strikes to race across the room, giving the illusion of figures dancing on the walls. Another flash, like the cracking of a whip, followed by thunder. The sound resonated and vibrated through the home. I watched my boys lunge from their chairs, running from window to window like a well choreographed dance routine, trying to catch a glimpse of the outside world as the lightning display continued. The wind howled and whistled as it raced past the house. Thunder roared, followed by several lightning flashes. One too close for my comfort. The loud pop sent my boys spiraling back from the window. I peeked over my book and watched them bounce into the family room where I was sitting. My youngest son, 13-year-old Daniel, stayed close behind his older brother, trying to hide his fear. I knew Zack and Daniel had never experienced a storm like this. The room was large, quiet, and dimly lit by a single reading lamp behind me on my old reclining chair. On the walls, picture frames reminisced of family memories, a mixture of old and new. My television was mounted on the north wall, my chair and couch set facing that direction. The tall floor light behind me flickered as another lightning bolt rocked the windows. Heavy curtains hid the large bay window on the exterior wall. Faint glowing lights peeked through with each lightning flash. Large oak book cabinets filled with books flanked the windows. The wind roared louder, giving the illusion of a freight train passing by the house. As the storm grew in intensity, Zack and Daniel nervously looked at one another and began to stare at me, watching as I calmly sat in my chair reading one of my many books. The howling winds grew louder and louder, and the rain pounded on the windows as another bright flash illuminated the room. Another loud crack, and the boys jumped once again. The lights flickered, going out, drowning the room in darkness.
Awesome. Okay, that was really good.